Hey everyone, Luke here, and based on what happens in the chapter this week, it seems like a couple of ideas that I've been theorising are going to be coming true. But before that, just gotta say we've started watching Power Rangers Time Force, and Fex is doing a count of just the fangasm moments that I have in this series. So that's gonna be fun for you guys when we actually do get to that portion of the Power Rangers post Sword and Era podcast that we do. So look forward to that. But yeah, let's just get diving into this week's Mission Yozakura chapter. Alright, so this will be chapter 194, titled Shinzo's Wedding Ceremony. Now, yes, even though this is focusing on the announcement that Shinzo is getting married to Katana Alexander, which is confirmed to be Ryu's daughter in this chapter. So, Shinzo getting married to Ryu's daughter, yeah. Oh yeah, if Ryu didn't force Shinzo's hand in this, then I don't know why he would have agreed to this. But yeah, it does seem like he did force his hand with this. But it seems to be very amazing that we're only like 10 chapters away before Mission Yozakura surpasses Demon Slayer in the number of chapters that have actually been published. So think about that what you will. But yeah, let's just get into the chapter. So yeah, it starts off with Koricho being curious about the email that she sent Shion, and then this, as soon as he gets this, he goes completely white and completely blank, because as we know, whenever something like this happens, Koricho's just like, Shinzo, what are you doing? In the same way that it was like with Nanano. So it does seem very similar to what happened to the same case with Nanano, which obviously becomes more apparent later on in the chapter. But yeah, I just love this chapter from just the perspective of everyone and how Shinzo meets them, because we have here with Chibi Shinzo as he's growing up. So we see him as a baby, then we see him playing with explosives as he's going Koricho, and then as soon as Koricho starts going through the memories, we have him imagining Shinzo getting married, and then this just like explodes my mind. It's like, no, Shinzo can't get married. Is he also he can't get married? And then we see obviously Futsba beating him up, and as we have Mutsumi being just as short as like, what, a wedding ceremony? Shinzo's getting married, and Keigo's the first one to be like, yeah, there's no way this is obviously a prank that's going on, and Nano is the one obviously going like, yeah, it must be a joke, because otherwise he would never do something like this without discussing with it first. So yeah, this is obviously again, like that they're discussing here, like it's obviously something that he's being forced against as well, because it's like, yeah, you wouldn't be getting married and then like a family as close as the Yozakura family would not be like, yeah, I'm just gonna get married, I'm not gonna tell my siblings anything, yeah, don't, just leave them out. So yeah, they're obviously, yeah, something is going on here, but Shion is just like, no, I'm not sure this is actually a prank. Spy Day is the biggest gossip coming up here, and they've just updated the website to include a live stream of the actual wedding itself, as it obviously is confirmed, like, oh yeah, he's getting married to Ryu's daughter, and Futsuma's just like, wait, Ryu had a daughter? Huh. Who would have thunk it? And this is where Keigo starts like getting his brain like, wait a minute. So it's being live streamed tomorrow, and it's coming directly a day after being invited. Seriously, then this could actually be a real thing, and this is where he starts to get more ideas coming through his head of just like, oh wait a minute, Shinzo is Ryu's top apprentice and his favourite too. Now that he spent 5 years working with him, the idea of getting together with his kid isn't weird at all. Which, yeah, I can kind of see that, but at the same time, you should be keeping in the back of your mind, like, no, this obviously has to be a trap because Shinzo would have at least discussed this with us to begin with. So as the family continues to go over the matter, they all have flashbacks to Shinzo as a kid. So we have Futaba giving Shinzo a piggyback ride, which that's just cute. That's just cute considering how tall Shinzo actually grows up to be, and you just see Futaba just being like, "Oh, I'm going to give you a piggyback ride here." We see Shion having a flashback to having a gaming session with Shinzo, which you can imagine that just being the case, like just playing Mortal Kombat with Shion, and then she just breaks the controller in frustration because she's losing. We also have I love this because there's a neat parallel here that I've just noticed that this is coming from my just observation of looking at the chapter whilst I'm doing this review. So we have Futaba giving Shinzo the piggyback, and then we have Keigo getting the piggyback of Shinzo as his flashback. So a nice little parallel there. Before we have Mutsumi being protected by Shinzo, which is her flashback, and then we have Shinzo obviously getting is he getting excited? Yeah, no, he's getting knocked out by Nano's experiment here. So they all have various flashbacks of what Shinzo means to them, and then even though Futaba was beating Creature up for having these exact same thoughts about Shinzo, they're actually now oh my god, this is actually real. This is actually happening. Shinzo's getting married. No! And then they all just start freaking out here. So we have Futaba going, red bean, rice, must make... So Futaba's just thinking wait a second, I don't have anything for the wedding, what am I going to make? I know, I'll make red bean rice, I'll get red bean rice here. We have Keigo going, this cannot be real, he's panicking, oh my god, this cannot be real, and then we have... Oh my god, I love this here. So yeah, okay, they're all having various reactions. So Creature's just completely out of it. But if he was conscious, and I'd be like, wait a second, Futaba, you just insulted me for having these thoughts. Are you being hypocritical here? That'll probably be his reaction here. So yeah, they're all having these various thought processes going for their head as Futaba is rummaging through her bag. Chion's just on the couch, just it's hard for her to process. Keigo's holding a knife here, just no, it can't be, I've got to, okay, put the knife down. But even more insane is just Nano has a bunch of drugs, and it's just marriage must be fun, we have to do something about this, and of course Mutsumi's the only one that's actually being cautious like that. Okay, everyone calm down, panic, but but I love it because you have because we have a bit of fourth wall breaking here from Tayo, because as they're all thinking about Shinzo getting out, we see him in a wedding dress, and Tayo brings it up as why is Shinzo the only one in a wedding dress? It suits him though. Yeah, wedding dress does suit Shinzo. But yeah, that's besides the point. Mutsumi's the old one being incredibly cautious, okay everyone, calm down. There has to be a reason for this. It is shocking, it is so sudden, I will agree with that. Shinzo sort of come to us right away, told us about what was going on, but this has to be a happy occasion. Shinzo made this decision for himself, so we should be celebrating. And then this gets everyone calmed down. It's yeah, you're right, Mutsumi, yeah. Wait a minute, is that Creature saying that? So let me look at this, because you have all no, all you guys are thinking over this, but I have a video of the whole thing, King. Wait, oh no, so Creature is still out of this. Sorry, it was kind of hard to see all the different bubbles of what everyone is actually speaking of. But we have Futsuma going, yes, you're right. We have Nano going, Musume makes a good point. We have Keigo going, lol, all you guys freaking out over this brother complex much? Yeah, you guys are no better than Karicha at this type of stuff at this moment in time. And then we have Musume going, I have a video of the whole thing, Keigo, as he starts saying, this can't be real, this can't be real. And Keigo's just like, please delete that, I'm begging you. And this is where Shinzo starts going over the thoughts of like, oh no, wait a minute, did he really decide this for himself? No. I wonder why he'd send an invite just to me and not the whole family. So it's nice that she's actually getting to that point of like, wait a second, he only sent me the invitation, he didn't send anybody else the invitation. So yeah, there must be something going on here, and there must be a secret code in this wedding invitation that only I can decipher, given the fact that she taught him code to use a while back because he sucks with like, is she the only one that's actually good with computers in this family? Well, I guess that would make sense, but seriously, Furuta sucks at computers, Shinzo sucks at computers, like, surely there has to be at least someone else that doesn't suck at computers. But anyway, I love the headbands because in the flashback where Shinzo is just like making the effort to just like do coding, and he's just like, I can't do this, and then you just have Shion being like, seriously, it's the most, like, she has the face of just like, seriously, it's the most basic code ever, while she has a bat in her hand, and we have effort and discipline on their headbands, which I would have loved if they did a reference to Kage-sama Love This War, where we had one of that just had demon on it. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, point stands that there's the side that he tinkered with the message. He hid a voice recording in the text of the invite. So yeah, she's able to decrypt, like, okay, he had a voice message for all of us to hear, and only say it to me because I would be the one that would be the most accurate to decipher this whole coding here. It's encrypted in a way only my machine can decipher. So this is where we actually get to hear what the message actually is, which I'm glad that we're not milking this. We're actually just getting straight into the good stuff of like, okay, this is Shinzo's dilemma, and this might actually come into play of what the actual task of Alpha and Hifumi will actually be, because they're not really focused on this in this chapter, which makes sense. We've had an entire arc of just going to rescue Nanano focused on solely them, so it's nice that we're actually getting the main family to focus on this task as well, but it's obviously going to come into play with their task given to them by Shinzo. So now we start to actually hear what the message from Shinzo actually is, which is, okay, I'm going to be brief, I only have a few seconds to record this, he'll find me before long, obviously referring to Ryu. Whatever you do not come to the wedding. And this is where everyone's like, wait a second, what is actually going on here? And again, very similar to what happened with Nanano, as Tara's just thinking over what was actually said, and the message just continues. It says, I don't want this marriage, it was his choice, Ryu set me up, he decided all of this without asking me. So yeah, obviously being forced to be married, which might actually come into play of the fact that Ryu is working for Asa, because in the same way that now was just like, don't come here, do not come and rescue me, because Mozu is working for Asa. So this might actually be the ploy to actually get all the Yozakuras together into one area, and then this way Ryu pulls his trump card, and possibly his daughter as well. His daughter might be in on it as well, and if that's the case, then it does add to the theory that all the gold rank spies, except for the Yozakuras, are actually working for Asa. This might include Kai as well, but we'll get to that when we get to it. That's just a theory I had, and it seems like we're heading in that direction. And yeah, everyone is just like stunned by this, and Shinzo continues, even I don't know how this happened, I don't know what Ryu's thinking, none of this makes any sense for now, all I can do is try and find a way out of it. And this is where Ryu comes in. It's just like, Shin, what are you doing? It's just like, Ryu, I'm so sorry, hurry up and hurry and send that invitation already, sweetie. We don't have time. There's a wedding cake to design. You must be fitted for your alternate tuxedo. Letters have been written to the families. The music has to be packed. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll get on it. And Karicha's like, Ryu. Karicha probably has the same idea as I do. Like, wait a second. this actually happened with Naruto and Moses working for Asa, is Ryu doing the exact same thing here? So Creature might be on the same wavelength as me. As Shinzo goes on and says, anyway, I don't want any of you getting dragged into this mess. It'll be my problem. I'll find a way to handle it. You all relax and wait for me. As we see Ryu's hand going, now Shin, you know this isn't allowed. And it's just like, oh Ryu, I'm sorry. Enough of this silliness. I'm counting. I'm confiscating that, and she's just like, no, as the message cuts out. And yeah, everyone is just like stunned, like ... And Creature's like, what was he recording that for a horror film? Like, no, Creature, you should be on the same wavelength here. You've seen this happen before with Mozu working for Asa. Ryu might be doing the exact same thing here. But yeah, we have Shion and Keigo starting to laugh, and they're just like, Keigo, stop laughing, you idiot. And it's just like, hey, can I not? That was all so totally nuts. I'm sure anybody would laugh. Heck, it's been years since I last heard his crying, panicking for us, so I can't help it. As Fruits was just like, guys, seriously, this is your brother. He's being forced into a marriage. Have some respect. But then, of course, Creature being Creature is like, something's off about this. As he starts asking the basic questions like, why doesn't Shield just run? And yes, Ryu is the chief editor of the Spy Day, a go-round spy and his teacher, so he won't be an easy opponent to handle. But if the goal is simply to escape, that shouldn't be hard for Shinzo. And Keigo comes up with a fear of like, maybe Ryu's got dirt on him when it comes to maybe Ryu's got dirt on Shinzo when it comes to mental strength, and he's kind of blackmailing Shinzo in that way. And Creature's like, that is a possibility. He must have some reason he thinks it's good enough, which means there's only one thing to do. March right in the front door, invitation, and find out what's really happening. No, that's a bad idea, guys, because you don't know what Ryu is actually going to be doing here, and it is obviously, plain as day, a trap for you guys. So don't say I didn't warn you, because they're not going to listen to outside. I was like, look, one of our family members is in trouble. They don't want to get married. We're going to go and get them out of this situation. So yeah, operation. We're going to go in, crash the wedding, and then save our brother for a marriage he doesn't want to have. As Creature's like, oh, Shion, the time and date, and Shion confirms tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Shuyin Hotel in the purple room. And of course, Keigo is just completely oblivious to the situation here. It's like, yeah, no, we're gonna mess you up, brother. I know we've got to do that. Get him out of this marriage he doesn't win, but since we're going to our wedding anyway, I've got to look my best. Where's my beauty mask? Do you want one, two, Tail? And Tail's just like, nope, because that's not important right now, Keigo. And then we have a little bit of comedic moment here, where we have where it's basically an excuse just to get Hiyofumi and Alpha and Ayaka out of this whole mission. That's the only reason this is being done here, because we see because she drank so much milk in the last chapter, she's now got a bit of a tummy ache, and Ayaka's just like, oh, don't fret, me. Goliath and I will. Oh, and Goliath as well. Goliath and I will look after for you. Go along with everyone to the ceremony tomorrow. And then I is just like, oh, I wanted to eat a lot of wedding cake and wedding trees. Why is it so unfair? But mutes me because she's obviously aware of the crush Ayaka has on her brother at this point. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, everybody wants Ayaka x Shinzo, and that might actually be coming to fruition, because if this wedding doesn't go through, then Ayaka still has a chance, and it's obvious, like, she wants to go and save Shinzo because of the fact that she does have the crush on him. And Mitsumi's just like, oh, you sure you don't want to come? And she's like, no, I'll be alright. And you can see her blushing very briefly as well. So yeah, it's obvious that she does want to go, but at the same time, it's more important to get him out of this situation rather than pressing on her feelings as well. But as soon as he gets out of this situation, we're going to have a Shinzo Ayaka date chapter. I am hoping for that. But yeah, and the fact that it's obvious that she wants Shinzo's blooming, if you know what I mean, because now, yeah, she's calling Mutsumi by her first name and not Lady Mutsumi or Miss Mutsumi, but I can imagine she would call everyone else like Master Tayo, Miss Shion, Master Keigo, Master Koricho, but the one that she singles out here out of the siblings is Shinzo. So she's like, I have faith that everyone will bring Shinzo home safe and sound. So I'll sit tight and wait patiently for you. I'll look forward to the stories you share with me when you come back to. So yeah, the fact that she's calling Shinzo by his first name, like obviously means like, no, I want him to come back so that I could be the one to marry him. So that's pretty much establishing that Shinzo x Ayaka is still a thing. So yeah, we have Mutsu being like, oh, okay, all right, we'll get going too. If we find any food we can carry, we'll be sure to bring it back for you, And Ai's just like, I want sweets. And yeah, Ayaka's just like, oh, you're really passionate about your food. And Tayo's just like, oh, they're having a little moment here. He starts thinking back on what Shinzo means to him as being a supportive big brother to him. So now he has to be the same. He has to do the same thing for Shinzo and not having be stuck in this ship that he does not. Yeah, stuck in this relationship that he doesn't want to have. So he's like, as he pockets what I assume is Yui. Yeah, what I assume is Yui. It's just like, or maybe a grenade. He's like, hang on, Shinzo, we'll save you. We cut over to the Shui Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel owned by Spy Day, which obviously is run by Ryu. So it makes sense why he was able to get this venue. It's often used as event venues for the Spy Association outside of the Purple Room Conference. And we have Ryu just being like, oh, beautiful, perfect Kengu, perfect Katan. Shin, you look spectacular. And Kata is just like, really, Papa? You have to take so many pictures. Oh my god, Ryu is just like Momo in this situation with his daughter. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's being completely like Momo. And he's just like, oh, why wouldn't I? Of course I'm going to take this many pictures of the lovely couple. You just thought, oh, how could I not? I'd fail as the editor-in-chief for Spy Day if I didn't record every single second of this. I will make this wedding plan a success. As we cut to the final scene of the chapter, if it will actually work for me, damn it, it's not working for me. There we go. I'll be the best scoop of my career as we get Ryu's post-time skip design, which not very different from his pre-time skip design. So yeah, nothing to say on that front, and it just gives the character just a reminder of who he actually is. And then we see his daughter, who kind of looks a little similar to Futaba in a way, except she has more puffy pigtails, and she's obviously wearing a kimono. Anyone who wears kimonos is automatically awesome in my eyes. And she's like, geez, Papa, you're way too hyped for this. And he's like, oh, how can I not be hyped? My only daughter who's been introduced at this moment is getting married. And then we see Shinzo in a kimono himself. And again, similar case to Ryu. Not much has changed about him. I think he's gone a little bit torn, a little bit more buffer, but still the same Shinzo, which is what we love. It ain't broke, don't fix it. And Shinzo is one of those characters that his design is perfect for him, as he's just looking there incredibly nervous. And he's just like, someone help me. I mean, I told my family not to come and get me, but I know they're going to come and get me, so please help me. And that's where the chapter ends. So really not much to say about this chapter, just getting down to the mystery of why Ryu's doing this and possible theories about what is coming. Like I said, it might actually involve Asa, might be leading to the fact that the Gold Rank Spies are all working for Asa to take down the Yozakura family for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, this was a plot point that I didn't see coming, but again, adds to my answering of questions like, can the Yozakuras get married? And the answer is yes, they can get married, but they choose not to because of the families. But at the same time, they should be able to make that choice of whether they want to get married. I feel like Shinzo, after all of this, is going to be like, no, I still want to get married, but I want to get married to the person that I choose to get married to, and he's probably going to get married to Ayaka. That's probably going to happen in the future, and oh my god, can you imagine Ayaka and Shinzo's children? That would be insane. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and this will be Lash Luke signing off. Later, guys.